morning friends and welcome to the Sharekhan's pre-market action. Very strong note on the global fronts yesterday that we saw the European markets closing on a very strong note on the back of the German investors confidence in data which came and which advanced for the first time in this year, and we saw the overall sentiments have been very positive as far as the European markets are concerned. Also, the US markets closed almost at all-times high, where we saw the speculation that the overall economy is in a very strong footnote to overcome any global slowdown going ahead. So global markets are trading positive. However, currently the Asian markets are trading on a positive note to a mixed note, where we saw the Japanese stocks trading positive on the back of the news that the Prime Minister of Japan has delayed the sales tax increase by around 18 months and also has called on for an early elections and has also mentioned that it would go on for a quantitative easing as far as the Japanese economy is concerned. However, back home yesterday we saw the Indian markets almost closing on a flattish note. For the first time after a long time that we have seen that the FIs were a bit negative yesterday as far as the cash provisional figures is concerned. We saw the FIs turn negative in the cash market yesterday to the tune of around 101 odd crores in the cash market, and as well as the DIs were negative to the tune of around 240 odd crores. Going ahead, all eyes would be on the RBI's monetary policy, which will be held on 2nd of December. We have seen that the Finance Minister Arun Jaitley has mentioned that rate cut would actually be overall positive and boost for the economy. However, the RBI governor has mentioned that it would actually try to win the battle against the inflation first and then go on for a monetary easing. So there is not much clarity at this point of time as to how the overall monetary policy will turn out on 2nd of December. But yes, that is one of the major trigger for the Indian markets going ahead. However, let's have a look at the overall derivative analysis as far as the Indian markets are concerned.
Good morning friends, let's have a view on derivatives. The Indian benchmark indices ended the volatile day of trade on a flat note. As we have seen that yesterday Nifty started the session on a flattish to negative note, but later buying was visible in many of the blue chip counters such as L&T, BHGL, SSLT, IDFC, HDFC Bank, which were up by approximately 2 to 4% each, due to which Nifty hit a fresh intraday high as well as lifetime high at around 8470 odd levels. But despite positive opening of the European markets, Nifty continuously was trading very volatile and it was oscillating between positive and negative territory several number of times, and finally snapped its session at around 8452 odd levels. In this period, we have seen that open interest has increased by 0.56% from 2 crore 50 lakhs to 2 crore 52 lakhs. Approximately 1.41 lakh shares were added in open interest. Cost of carry also increased by 30.21% from 9.61% to 12.51%. Also, Nifty futures premium increased from 22 points to 26 odd levels, which is clearly indicating that long positions were built up in yesterday's trade by market participants. Open interest has increased by 1.87% from 1.07 to 1.09%. Since start of the series, we have noticed that PCR started at 0.86 and it is continuously trading with on the upward direction. Now it stands at 1.09, which is clearly indicating that put option has seen good build-up than call option in yesterday's trade. Yesterday put option has added around 14 lakh shares in open interest, whereas call option has added around 4 lakh shares in open interest. India VIX was down by 2.36% from 14.41 to 14.07%. In the options activity, we have seen that 8,400 call option, 8,500 call option has reduced its shares in open interest, and that activity was shifted to 8,600 call option as well as 8,700 call option also. And in put option also, we have seen that 8,300, which stands with highest number of shares in open interest. Yesterday, we have seen marginal reduction in 8,300 put option, and that activity was shifted to 8,400 and 8,500. Yesterday, 8,500 has added more number of shares in open interest. That means people are shifting their activity from lower strike price to higher strike price, which is a positive sign for the market going forward. There is only one security in ban period, which is Uniday. And yesterday, FIs were net sellers of 10 crores in future and option segment. They were net sellers of 164 crore in index futures. They were net sellers of 31 crore in index options. They were net buyers of 181 crore in stock futures. and there were net buyers of 4 crore in stock options. Our Friday CVM stands at 8410. Lower range for the market would be 8410 and higher range would be 8500. Singapore Nifty is up by 9.15 points, which is at 8466.50. We may see a margin flattish to positive start in Nifty futures today. That's it from Derivatives. Thank you.
Let's have a look at some of the trading ideas for today. First and foremost, GAIL, a long idea where the state-run gas utility GAIL India is likely to sign a gas supply agreement with the Houston-based Becca Energy Partners shortly. So we're going to go long with a stop loss of 483 for target of 498 at 504. The previous closing was 490. JP Associates has got a CCI not to sell unit to Shree Cement, so we can go long in JP with a stop loss of 33.5 for target of 36 and 38. HDFC Bank, the parent HDFC will apparent stake in HDFC Bank to 1.4% to create room for the foreign investors going ahead. Is likely to issue shares of around 10,000 crores, where HDFC would actually stay away and would actually allow the foreign investors to get in. So it's a positive move for HDFC Bank. So we recommend to go long with a stop loss of 919 for target of 950 to 960. On the news update, Mahindra is recording 2,300 units of different variants of its popular SUV Scorpio and XUV 500 and multipurpose vehicles are going to rectify a defective vacuum pump in the engines manufactured in May this year. Secondly, generic drug maker Ranbaxy has sued the US FDA for revoking the approvals of two of its key drugs, Roche and AstraZeneca. SEBI board is likely to discuss the new delisting norms and insider trading, and discussion take on the willful default and the promoter public pre-classification today. SR Shipping gets shareholders not for delisting. The Prime Minister office is likely to meet today to discuss the subsidy for the sugar exports. Officials from sugar mills in Uttar Pradesh are said to meet the cane commissioner on Thursday to convey their concern on the state-advised prices, the SAP. The exchanges will shift the stocks to trade for the tea group segment from November to 24th. BSE and NSE has mentioned in a separate circulars. Stocks that would be transferred on BSE include Raj Oil Mills, Malabar Trading Company, NCC Finance, and Paramount Parent Packaging, while those shifted by NSE included the Acro Petal Technologies and Zenith Infotech. Another news, the Minister may issue draft rules for the e-auction of 74 blocks today. An attempt to strike a balance between the need to put more airwaves up for sale and meet the revenue targets for this fiscal year, the Department of Telecom wants to conduct the spectrum auctions in the two phases between February and May next year. While the auctions in February will adhere to the earlier schedule, with spectrum in the 900 megawatts, 800 megawatts, and the 1800 megawatts bands, and the one in the May is for the airwaves in the 2100 megawatts, 2300 megawatts, and 2500 megawatts bands. The Power Grid Corporation has said its board has approved two transmission projects worth of rupees 1,000 crores. The Canara Bank has mentioned that it is establishing micro enterprises business centers in 47 locations across the country to have a focused attention to the segment. United Phosphorus Management has bought 33,279 shares of Advanta India from the open market at an average market price of rupees 332 per share. UPL holds a 50.5% stake, and sentimentally is positive for Advanta India. Texmaco Roll Board has approved opening of the QIP issue from November 18. The floor price for the QIP issue is set at rupees 106.8 per share. Another new state-run NTPC, the country's biggest power generator and thermal and coal consumer, plans to acquire at least 26% stake in coal mines abroad to secure the long-term fuel supplies for all its power plants, a senior executive has mentioned. And the pharma major Cadila Pharmaceuticals Limited is now focusing on Ayurvedic over-the-counter products segment to fuel the growth in the Indian markets, which has recently seen several allopathic drugs come under the price control. On the watch list today, first and foremost, we have State Bank on a positive note, positive bias, Reliance Capital and Union Bank are other stocks with a positive bias. Stocks with negative bias are CESC, Voltas, Hindalco and Ashok Leyland for today. That's it, friends, from the Sharekhan's pre-market action. Thanks and have a nice trading day.